Fireside, the best grilling shop in town. Fireside, I think I'm gonna go on down.
Hey, this is Greg with Fireside Outdoor Kitchens. Today I'm going to talk to you about some of the basics of how to use ceramic grills. When I say ceramic grills, I basically mean all Kamados. So I'll show you two today, but it doesn't really matter whether you have a Big Green Egg, a Primo, a Kamado Joe, a Goldens, a Blaze. They all work essentially the same way. One of the most important basic questions that we get from customers is how much charcoal should I put in the grill? So the answer to that question is somewhat dependent upon the grill you have, but there is a way to just go across the board, and you may have to come in a little closer to look. In this case, a Kamado Joe Big Joe actually has a divider. So if your charcoal is on average about as high as the top of that divider, you're going to be in the right scenario. Now, I'm not saying once you fill it you should be picking and choosing them to get them exactly at the same elevation. They should be on average at about the same elevation. If you're using a grill like this one, this is the Goldens does not have a divider to help you there, but if you take the spread between where these holes in the side are and the top of the firebox, split the difference, it's about the same. So on average, the top of the charcoal is going to be right there. That will help you have consistent amounts of charcoal every time you use the grill. It's not as important that you have exactly the right amount as it is that you always use the same amount. That way you will always have the same amount of fuel, and it'll be the same amount of airflow to control heat. Because essentially that's all these grills do, is allow air to flow through them, which allows you to make a stronger or weaker fire. So the second question would be, how should the grill be set up when I light the charcoal? I'm going to assume that you're using a fire starter brick. So you're going to light that with a match and you're going to put it down in the charcoal. You don't actually shove it down towards the bottom, and you don't leave it up there on top either. You generally push it down between a couple of pieces so that if this is the charcoal, the briquette is down in here and it's lighting several pieces of charcoal from all different angles. That'll help the fire spread faster. As soon as you light that, you should make sure your intake is wide open, your grill is closed, and the top is wide open, or the chimney. You can take the chimney off if you prefer it. You're going to leave it like that for about 15 minutes. My basic rule of thumb on lighting a charcoal grill like this is, in 15 minutes, you should see over 300 degrees and no smoke. So the reason I do that is very simple. The briquette won't last but 7 or 8 minutes. So if it's 15, you can't possibly be cooking on the briquette anymore. 2, if you're over 300 degrees and it's been 15 minutes, you know the charcoal is thoroughly lit. And 3, no smoke means that you're down to charcoal. The smoke usually comes from the little fire starter briquettes themselves. They give off a funny little whitish gray wisp of smoke. If you don't see that any longer at all, you're back down to burning on pure charcoal. So why would I say all that? The reason is, one of the comments we get the most from customers is, I started cooking, my grill was nice and hot. Within a few minutes of putting hamburgers on it, the temperature dropped down to about 180 or 190, and it never really recovered. The problem is most likely that that customer started cooking on temperature that was coming from the fire starter briquette, not from the charcoal having been thoroughly lit. So the 15 minutes is basically so that you know, if you waited 15 minutes, that briquette cannot be generating that temperature anymore. If you're 300 at 15 minutes, the charcoal is doing the work. Just don't light too early. That would be my best tip for how to light your grill, your charcoal grill. This is Greg with Fireside. Feel free to reach out to us anytime at www.firesideoutdoorkitchens.com.
Fireside, the best grilling shop in town.